All right, guys, big jobs report for November just came out. I want to go over a bunch of numbers with you. 227,000 new jobs were created. It's better than what they expected, which was 214,000. But before you spike the ball in the end zone and start celebrating, we need to take a closer look because there are some weak spots beneath the surface. And it's actually giving bonds a little bit of a boost. So bond market's actually up today. Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics dropped the numbers today. Now, as you guys know, I talk about the BLS all the time because right now it really is impacting our rates and what the Fed does. So they showed 227,000 jobs created. Now, that's a bit stronger than the forecast of 214,000, but a lot of these were what we call comeback jobs or rebound jobs from things like strikes and storms. That's not exactly new growth. Plus, they bumped up the last 2 months by 56,000 jobs. September got a 32,000 job upgrade, and October got an extra 24,000. So they revised those numbers. Now, there's this thing called the birth-death model, which tends to overinflate job growth. That added another 5,000 jobs. So there's a little too optimistic. That's, I guess we could say, a little too optimistic compared to ADP's small business losses, but it didn't totally wreck the numbers, okay? So the report has two surveys. Follow me here. Now, there's this thing called the business survey, which I'm taking a look at right here. It gives us the headline job number. And then there's also the household survey, which tells us about unemployment. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The household survey showed 355,000 job losses, worse than the 368,000 from last month. Now, that's a pretty big gap between the two surveys. Over 1 million jobs off in the last 2 months. Think about that for a minute. And these numbers are dictating market movement. Now, unemployment went up by 161,000 and the labor force shrank by 193,000. That bumped the unemployment rate up to 4.2%, but it was at 4.3%. So, fun fact, the BLS removes people from the labor force if they're not actively looking for work. So, even if they're still employed and they're not looking for work, the BLS removes them from the labor force. So, if we counted those people, the unemployment rate would have been more like 4.4% today, not 4.2%. Okay. So the U6 unemployment measure, which includes those missing workers, slightly rose from 7.7% to 7.8%. All right. Now, household survey also showed a shift in the types of jobs lost. We actually lost 111,000 full-time jobs and 268,000 part-timers. The only group gaining jobs was, can you guess? Teenagers, right? Likely seasonal jobs. Like my son just got a job at a place this season. While everyone else saw declines. So in a nutshell, the headline number looks solid, but the household survey shows a lot of weakness. And bonds are reacting accordingly, right? Because when the job market looks not so good, bonds kind of like that. We kind of like that. We were cautious going into this report. Well, but here we are, guys. We're kind of in that same pattern. Now, mortgage-backed securities are responding positively. Stay tuned. We'll have more coming soon here. We're in December, and December is always kind of a funny month. We've got a transition with the government. Obviously, we have the new administration coming in. And I sent out an email to all of my clients about this information and about the bond market and about what we expect. That if you have a question or you're in the market looking for a refinance or purchase, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help. No strings attached. 970-786-0222. I'm Tim Rhey with Mortgage Ballers. Have a fantastic day.